Are you all ready for this grand final? Best of 7 in the WardiTV Spring Championship preseason. In the upper left-hand side, we're starting this off with the blue Zerg from Clash. This is Reynor. Bottom right, our red Terran from Team Liquid. This is Clem. I've got hiccups. What a way to start the finals. Hey, thank you so much, Coda Sirach, for the Twitch Prime sub to kick us off as well. Game 1 of this best of 7 as we get this up and we get this ready to go. Simulacrum, Reynor's map pick for map number 1. Map 2, Purity and Industry, picked by Clem. I actually can't remember what map number 3 was. Reynor's map pick, probably something like... forgetting what the map order is. Everdream, I think, map 3. And then map 4, Nightshade. Map 5, Zen. Map 6 will be Eternal Empire, leaving us with an ace match on Golden Wall. Because you know it's going to 7 games. That's how our finals roll. I believe, guys. Believe. No proxy racks to start us up here in game number 1. So Reynor's scouting of the Overlords is all for naught. As we will have the... Reaper and Orbital building up right now. Clem, obviously getting ready to expand as we go into... Again, I mean, we just watched these guys play a finals against each other yesterday. Not even 24 hours ago. And here they come once more. Now, here's a fun fact for you guys. Reynor has never beaten Clem in a WardiTV tournament. I mean, this was actually astounding to me. Because I casted these guys like a lot in different events and stuff. I don't know if it's like ever, but like in the last year or so, anything that's WardiTV in the name, Clem wins. Anything that doesn't have WardiTV in the name, Reynor wins. It's actually kind of insane. If you scroll down, there, you have to go back to 2018 to find an event. Yeah, well, okay, 2019 for Clem beating Reynor in a Take TV event. But like, it's kind of crazy, man. Like, the entirety of 2019 since March or so, in the last year, the only time Clem has beaten Reynor is in a WardiTV event. And Reynor's beaten Clem every other time. Apart from in Nation Wars, Clem won 1 map of the 3 that they played. How crazy is that? Like... That's kind of insane. What's up, Harsam? Thank you so much for the raid, and welcome everybody from the Captain stream. Hope you guys are doing well as you see Command Center dropping down, a starport building, and the Reaper of Clem able to pick up a single Zergling here early. The Creep Tumor not placed. Oh, sorry, it is placed, but a bit off to the side, so really keeping it safe. Oh, Clem's going for it. He's got it. Gets the Creep Tumor kill. Nicely done, as he will not get another one. The Queen damage will be too much for the Reaper. Get some good damage onto the Zerglings, though, as we do see the Reaper back out into the center. As we do have ourselves the Overlord speed from Reynor looking for some information. Looking for complete info as to what Clem is up to. Now, there is a 3rd CC from Clem already going to be finishing off in a couple of moments. Starport is going to be finishing. So, 3 CC nice and quick. Starport now done. Hellions and a Marine on the way. Intrigued to see. Okay, it's actually a medevac from Clem. So, something just a little bit different here. As we're going to be seeing the couple of Hellions coming around over this side. So Reaper and the Hellions coming through here, and just going to see this hatchery is dealing some damage. Just going to see the Queens of Reynor continuing down the left, and again, a couple Hellions. More coming across the map as the Overlord speed. Just going to be picking away at this. I mean, a couple of these Marines getting a lot of damage onto this Overlord. So Overlord taking a lot of hits at the moment. Creep Tumor is taking some damage as well. Stimpak on the way on the main base. I'm just going to be seeing the Marine coming in, and the Overlord taking some damage. Queen's coming through, and a few Hellions now dropping into this main base, so continue to press forwards into this. You're going to see a drone or 2 actually in some trouble. This Hellion drop catching Reynor off guard. Ling's not in position, and 6 drones going down with all 4 Hellions saved. That's really nice to keep all 4 of the Hellions alive. Usually when you Hellion run by, you obviously Very, obviously you kind of losing some of these Hellions, then you lose some map control, etc. But now you get 6 drones here for free. Oh my god, he gets a bunch of lings as well. These 2 Hellions survive too. Great control from Clem here in the early stages. As we set this up, I was going to see a few racks continue to build. So already going into racks number 4 and 5. 1-1 upgrade, stim pack. All of this continuing up as our drones of Reynor continuing up in numbers as well. Going to be seeing these queens going to be coming through, and this medevac of Clem taking some damage is going to get pushed away through the top side of the map. So away it goes as we do see an armory now setting up from Clem in the natural expansion. So getting that rolling as 1-1 melee upgrades coming out, 1-1 attack upgrades and armor from Clem. The upgrades obviously pretty fast here from Reynor, but it comes at the cost of no less. So you will not have Baneling speed at the 730 marker. It'll be more like 830 before Baneling speed is up. It's not going to have, you know, a Spire very early in this game either. So a couple of things to kind of keep in mind as to, you know, what Reynor is giving up to have those faster upgrades, because they will come into play when Clem starts to push. Yes, you might match the upgrades, but you're going to be missing Bane speed and so on and so forth. So Marines joining up together as we do see the SCV production continuing. Hellions out the left going to find themselves a Zergling already, so already one Zergling getting taken down, and Clem does just back away to the top side of the map. More Zerglings going to hang around in the corner of the main, and well, again, all of these upgrades finishing soon. A few extra Zerglings in production, 1-1 melee upgrades also on the way up with the 1-1 attack upgrades and a combat shield coming through from Clem as well. So all of this coming into play as we'll see us stem forwards, and again, some creep tumors being cleaned out. These few greens of Reynor going to come back around this bottom side, and just going to be seeing the medevacs looking to try and do a little bit extra. A couple of Hellbats trying to press forwards too, and we're just going to be seeing these Zerglings already dropping. The main base, a couple of Hellbats actually getting some damage done as well. I mean, that's kind of a funky drop, and it's doing okay for itself. No Banelings just yet, and that's why Reynor is a little bit pushed back at the moment. Clem comes across this left-hand side. 3 Hellbats now getting in on top of this Queen and pulling down. Going to be seeing some Zerglings looking to see what they can find. The Marines and the Hellbats. Nice target fire on a lot of those Banelings. A couple do connect, and the Marines now have to lift and get out of there, of course. There's still a Hellbat in the main base. He actually killed the Queen with these Hellbats. Rest of these Zerglings coming through, and just going to be seeing the Hellbat picked up and saved. Down the bottom side, a few more Marines being healed up. This medevac escaping, of course, and again, 2-2 upgrades on the way from Clem as well. Continue to build up into that as the 4th command center gets set up. Scan comes down, creep team is being cleaned up. Clem able to make a bit of a pick off as we see some extra Hydralisks on the way out as well. Now Clem just going to be coming up through into the center. Some more Marines and tanks out in towards the center of the map as well. Just going to be trying to see what might happen as a scan comes down the top side. A couple of creep teamers going down. So going to see the Lings and Veins continuing through. Tank, first one already sieging up, and just going to be seeing the creep continue to come in. These tanks continue to siege, and Veins being picked away at. I mean, it's a hell of a push from Clem, which is just fully powered up. See these Banes starting to roll down this ramp, and we're going to be seeing a few of them already going down as Zerglings come in from the right-hand side. First siege tank's already fallen. I mean, this 4th base is going down. Clem just keeps pushing forwards. He does not care. These Zerglings trying to get on top of this tank, but now they're just fighting on their own. No Baneling support. Well, now Clem's on just pure Marines. It looks like he's going to make this happen. Clem just fighting and fighting before even 2-2. And the 4th base done, with the 4th base kind of killed, he's just going to start slowing it down a bit. He does have his own 4th CC finished. We'll float this down the bottom side. Looks like he's going to take aggression from this base upwards. Of course, now you're expecting this base over here from Reynor, so taking this base and pushing along down here is great. He's already dropping this bottom side, expecting that to be where Reynor is re-expanding to. So Clem already getting a good read on what Reynor, or where Reynor will go next. Obviously, the rest of these units already coming down, so Reynor realized there's going to be an attack there, but Clem still has his army up on the top as well, so Reynor's going to have to rotate back around to deal with this, but Clem gets pushed a little bit further forwards, has a tank to support still, and well, let's see what these Banes and Hydras can do as they start to press on in. The Marines are already very well split. Ling Bane still wanting to run into this on the bottom side. Bane's connecting, Hydras moving through. These Marines of Clem in the natural expansion continue to do a lot as our Banelings will roll on into this. Tank fire is good. The Zerglings going down. The Hydra's being picked away at. Clem up in supply as we're going to see a couple of these Banes continue to drop. These Hydras pushed away, and it looks as though we're going to be seeing this army of Clem looking fantastic to still maybe not clean up here and now, but trade out fairly well. Okay, well, maybe he does just clean up here and now. Only Hydras left, and they go down so quickly. I think he will eventually just about be pushed back, but it might be like a cleanup, and Reynolds just like, yep, I'm dead, GG. Reynolds just going to expand to a base, so he's not going to give it up just yet as SCVs come down to the 6 o'clock position. Creep still pushing out through the center of the map. Just going to see these Fuelings continuing through. Marines taking some damage as well. And the rest of this bio down to the bottom side. Zerglings of Reynor to the far right, and a Marine, commands into that. He might be able to delay, but he's so far down, Reynor. He's hurting, and he's hurting badly. And this is the 5th base, not even the 4th, right? So you're slowing down the 5th base when your own 5th base is, well, do we even call this a 5th base? I mean, this one isn't a base any longer. Clem, full control of game number 1 here. And still pushing through. Gonna see an Overlord going down. A couple of creep tumors being picked away at. 3 Vipers, 8 Lurkers on the way. Seismic Spines will start, and Reynor will be able to bring this army out through into the middle of the map. Medivacs coming up the top here. These Marines and tanks pressing into the center as well. And down the bottom, these other Marines need to be somewhat cautious. He's gonna get a Medivac there, lift them up, and bring them back. I mean, again, Clem's just playing well from a lead at the moment, and it's very hard for Reynor to stabilize in a position like this and to recover from pressure like this, really. And it's just going to be seeing the forces pressing through. Now, the Lurkers are up. With Seismic Spines on the way, and that might just buy Reynor some time here. But Clem can't quite kill him, because that's what Lurkers are very good at. They're very good at holding a low number of bases and kind of keeping you in a game. You know, taking fights, you know, defending positions which you might not usually be able to win. I mean, Clem cannot push through this choke point into Lurkers. So what does Clem do about the Lurkers? Right now, just more and more bio units, which I think is one way of dealing with it when you're, like, ahead. I think that you got to be kind of careful. Whoa, he's... that was not nice. I think when you're ahead, this is kind of fine. Obviously, I think if you're kind of even, stuff like Liberators and Ghosts come in, and I think Clem's just going to go for that anyways now. The Liberators starting and the Ghost Academy coming up. So he's saying, well, if you want to sit on a low base count, you know, you do that. But I'm on 5 bases. I'm not going to, you know, stop harassing your bases that come up extra, because it's going to be hard for you to defend those with Lurkers. And that's the only reason you're staying in the game right now, because the Lurkers obviously helping to, you know, hold that position. So Reynor's starting to press forwards a little bit. No adaptive talent, so the Lurkers can't burrow very quickly. A lot of Clem's siege tanks getting picked away, and of course, this is all happening in the process of Clem moving in towards, like, Ghosts and Libs, so he's missing a little bit of army in a sense, because he's basically set up in an army that is improving, but not improved, right? And, you know, he's invested into that tech. It's not there yet. Oh, if he finds the Lurker down before adaptive talents, that'd be amazing. The Marines are going to keep going for it. He's not going to get it. The transfuse was good as well to help out. The Ling's there in time to protect it, as we're going to be seeing just a bit more creep taken down. And, of course, Reynor playing with very little map control in this game. You can see the Lurkers, they'll get down to the bottom side base. He might be able to do something there. Looks like he might be able to just blow up everything. I mean, once CC just lifts, there will be a replacement base pretty much right away. Liberator harasses this mineral line. Main push on the top side with the Lurkers not here. Reynor cannot hold this base. 17 workers have dropped. I mean, finally these Hydras moving over to do something and clean up this Liberator, but that got so many kills. Viper again picked off up in the skies as well. Is going to be seeing, well, Lings and Banes trying to support these Hydras. The Lurkers are still across the map and pushing forwards. And yeah, they're doing good damage, but again, Reynor, without the Lurkers at home, leaves himself so open to so many of these attacks. As Ghosts and Marines continue to join up together down this third base. Fire unit's going to load back up into these Medivacs. Zergling's coming through and going in and get rid of a couple extra siege tanks as well. So tanks continue to drop down. Hydra or 2 being picked away at. A lot of Lings and Lurkers out on the south side of the map as the bio unit's coming in. Queen going down. A few extra drones being picked away at as these Zerglings will be running in, but I think the Marines can load into the Medivacs and pretty much just get out of there. Reynor will be bringing Lurkers back to the top side. These Marines unloading once more. Overlord taken down pretty much right away as Lurker shots continue to fire. The Marines continue to dodge around. So again, in the end, you're just going to lift up and get out of there. Reynor surrounds the army's escape. Bit more of this coming around the sides. It's going to see Lings, Hydras, a couple of Banelings coming through, a couple of Ghosts lining up snipes, and the first Hydra gets hit by one there, of course. This is where these Ghosts come into play. Very efficient over the course of dropping many snipes throughout the course of a game. You know, Reynor knocked down at 4 bases here. I mean, obviously, you're not saying that, you know... Sorry, Clem knocked down at 4 bases. Reynor, obviously, kind of not in a great position himself. Man, look at these snipes, though. These snipes just dropping down. So many Lurkers killed. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like Reynor making some good moves to make this game competitive, but again, my question at the end will just be, is it enough? Right now, I mean, okay, this bottom side attack is doing pretty well. Lots of SCVs, Liberators cleaned out. The bio gets here too late to really do much about it. Grooved Spines is on the way on this Hydralisk Den, so gets that Grooved Spines rolling as the bio force will be regrouping to maybe go push now. Once again, still up in supply here, Clem. He actually forgot his +3 attack upgrade. Got +3 armor first, which is a mistake. That's kind of a sad mistake too, because actually that would be really helping him in a lot of these fights. The attack upgrade for bio units is worth so much more than the armor upgrade. There's this couple of Lurkers on their own just don't really do much. Oh my god, that's all of the Ghosts just on their own as well, by the way. You lose all of those and you're in some really, really tough positions in terms of trying to get back into it. Zerglings want to come to the front here. Obviously, these Ghosts have more than just snipes. They can also EMP the Vipers, which can be very nice as well. Big Stim is... If Reynor wants to fight here, he's got to come through a hell of a position. We do see snipes lined up across the gap to hit those Lurkers, and well, that's going to be another Lurker snipe down there as well. Lurkers just getting sniped a couple at a time. The EMP lands and hits all of the Vipers with the EMP. What a connection that is. Snipes still lining up, and, well, again, the Lurker count just getting picked away. Honestly, this is the most effective use of Ghosts I've seen against Lurkers in a long time. I feel like I always see these, I'm like, wow, they're not doing much. This time, they're absolutely just destroying Lurkers again. One at a time here, no problem at all. Lings and Hydras trying to commit in. Only 2 Lurkers left here. Now the bio can just swarm. There's no Banelings either, no splash damage, and the bio will have the time of its life. Snipe still dropping down. These Ghosts having damage into this. Reynor below 100 supply. Drew this game out, but will not be able to win it out in the end as Clem takes game 1 of this best of 7. Very well done. And takes the lead of the series. Here in this semi-final, we're going to be going into Purity and Industry. So Reynor down a map, and in his mind, he might already be down too. He does not like this map. As our red Zerg player is Reynor. And in the top, well, on the far right-hand side, our blue Terran player is Team Liquid's Clem. So setting this up and getting this underway. Game number 2 of this best of 7, and looking to see what will happen as a hatchery drops down on the natural expansion. Purity and Industry. I'm saying Reynor will be maybe 0-2 down in his mind because he really hates this map versus Terran. It's his veto in a best of... Well, I say it's his veto in a best of 5, but he actually thought it was his best of 5 initially and actually tried to veto Nightshade, so maybe he's got something a little bit figured out on this map. Maybe he's got a bit more of a plan than what he had before. Very interested to see what's going to come up in all of this. So Overlord coming around and yeah, just see what's gonna happen. Reaper moving out onto the map here from Clem. A little bit of build up, a little bit of getting ready to go as this Reaper makes his way up this top side. And Lens, thank you so much. The $15 donation says A sub to Wardy train. Thank you so much for the $15. Sub to Wardy train. Thank you so much. Appreciate the $15. Thank you so much. Did you see the Reaper just coming through and a drone taking a little bit of damage here as this game does start and gets itself underway. Basically, you're gonna see this factory dropping down in the main base and just gonna be seeing the reactor dropping down in the barracks as well. So getting that up and running. The third hatchery dropping down at the front here as well. Starport will drop from Clem in the main, and Reynor taking the forward third hatchery. Obviously, maybe something aggressive out of him, because that's a base that the Terran player is going to love pushing across the map into throughout the course of this. So we'll see what exactly Reynor's plan is to try and protect that base a little bit or so. Starport will finish very soon, and in the bottom right, we do have an Overlord moving around. There's the, again, third hatchery not far from finishing. Zergling speed coming up as our Reaper will start to nibble at that hatch. So hatchery taking some damage as the armory drops down from Clem. So he's got something planned on this map. Bit of a Hellbat attack to switch it up here, huh? Well then. Both these players playing a little bit differently to what was kind of expected to start off here now. And let's just see the Reaper and the couple Hellions poking their way through the hatch. Again, with the armor on the way up. Reynor's not really preparing for this at all, right? Because he doesn't know about it. He's not expecting it. And that's obviously the danger of this scenario. He's going to be on... Well, he's on 4 queens now, so he's going to be on 5 queens. Which isn't even that many. He's pretty much just purely droning, and no Roach Roaring, no Baneland Nest. It's pretty tough as we're going to be seeing the medevac showing up. And Reynor, I think, immediately he has got to realize he's in a little bit of trouble. Banshee Cloak on the way behind this, so Clem will have a second wave of aggression after the Hellbats. And you can see right now, he's kind of struggling, Reynor, to just figure out a way to fight this even. The Queens, again, also just not in the numbers you usually want them to be in. The medevac is targeted down, and that's maybe some lazy kind of micro from Clem, not pulling it back a little bit. So now these Hellbats are left charging in towards these Queens, which will start to split up a little bit more. Loses one of them, though. This is the Queen which had some energy. It does drop its transfuse at least before it goes down. And this is going to be a cleanup, but you just wonder what could have happened if he'd pulled that medevac back a little bit faster. Had a little bit more healing to power that up. I mean, even still, 5, 6 drones, 24 lings, and 3 queens. It's still a good trade for Clem in the early stages. It's definitely done damage. And you're killing off a lot of queens and now going into Cloaked Banshees, which obviously take advantage of the fact there's not as many queens out on the map. Still Hellions being made as well, by the way, so still more to be had with those at some stage. And extra gases on the natural, we might just be seeing straight up mech. Maybe like Hellion Banshee into mech means that we probably see Hyperflight Rotors as well. As the first Banshee shows up, just gets the 1 kill. No cloak just yet. Mech on this map, great because of the amount of base you can take. Look at Reynor. Evo Chamber is going to get missile upgrades. So while he doesn't even have a Roach Roaring down yet, he will end up going in towards those Roaches. So he's got a very good read on what this setup is as a follow-up from Clem. He has a good idea of what Clem's going to be doing, and he's not going to be caught off guard by it or anything like that, as we do see the Hellions back around into the center. The +1 vehicle plate still coming through, and the Hellions trying to poke their way through those queens. These 2 factories of Clem building in the main base. We see a creep tumor going down. Going to be seeing Hellions morph into Hellbats, and these Hellbats will continue to press on forwards. And Queen's taking quite a lot of damage. A lot of Zerglings already being picked away at here as these Hellbats have a very good time. Meanwhile, the Banshees across into the natural. The Spore Crawler is relocating for whatever reason. So he loses a bunch of drones. No detection against those Banshees for a moment or so. Now a couple more drones go down. The Hellbats at the front didn't exactly do too much, but even just the distraction to give these Banshees more of an opportunity obviously helps out as well. And Clem is once more taking a lead early on in the game. As we're going to be seeing again, missile upgrades still continuing through. Now the Roach speed gets started as well here from Reynor, so he's really making his way up and towards that Roach setup. A lot of the creep spread here from Reynor, spreading out into the center of the map. This Overseer flying through overhead as well. A couple of mules calling down in towards the natural expansion, so those across there is again Infernal Pre-Igniter and the Macfield. I mean, this Overseer just confirms what I think Reynor already knew. And he will go for Infestation Pit. Now, what is cool is that because this is not a battlecruiser mech open. You don't have to go for corruptors. So that kind of eliminates like an entire tier of tech that you usually have to tech in towards. So now you don't have to tech in towards all of that. You're just going, you just have to go in towards the, because you don't have to tech in towards all of that, you can now just make your way towards the swarm host pretty easily. So just going to get swarm hosts up and running, gets those started. Alien's joining about in the center as crew tumors will be starting to go down. And Aliens and Cyclones going through for a good little bit of damage. Banshee's in higher numbers, obviously with Hyperflight are always a threat, and he actually kills this queen. And now he will get an extractor too. And I see some of the swarm hosts popping, so good information to be had. The swarm hosts aren't something you really change your composition up against. More so just something that's nice to kind of, you know, see kind of coming through as this Banshee is going to get picked off as well. Is going to go down, so Banshee falls. 7 drones down, and Banshee's actually going to make way to the natural. Intercepted by 2 more queens, though. Good positioning there by Reynor to try and minimize Clem doing a little bit of extra damage in all of this. I'm still trying to press on forwards. Is just going to be seeing the Hellions wolfing into Hellbats, and the rest of these roaches still trying to kill them up as well. Just going to be seeing the Hellbats pulling back, as just going to be seeing the queens. Maybe we'll shut down the Banshees once more. I mean, honestly, it's kind of a weird one. Like, Clem is killing a lot of drones. I'm just not sure. I mean, the Banshees just feel like they're continuously going down. So there's a lot of investment being lost, and the Hellbats and Cyclones at the front are being shut down now as well. I mean, not to say they haven't had any kills, but here come the swarm hosts. So around a Locust into the third. SCVs instantly pull away, but that's some damage returned here from Reynor. And that's nice. He's going to get himself depots. He's going to get himself 1 refinery, make that 2. So a couple of refineries. I mean, that's really nice for Reynor because, you know, it really slows down Clem's mech production. A lot of that gas lost as we see a 4th base coming up. So the gas not even there yet. Now Queen's coming across the map as well. Reynor never continued into further than 1-1 upgrades. So it feels like he might just be able, you know, even trying to win the game off the back of this attack right now. New Locusts are ready to go and gonna start sending them forwards. Has to be careful with how he commits to the fight. There is Blue Flame Hellions, so they really do roast down those Locusts very quickly. No 4th hatchery from Clem. He did from Reynor, sorry. He did end up losing that to those Banshees, so has to rebuild that over there, and that's going to be an expense. And obviously a delayed 4th base, something that Clem can look at and say, well, that's how I am ahead in this game. My own 4th base up comfortably, even if my 3rd did have to relocate for a few moments. It's just going to be seeing these Locusts dropping down. SCVs already being picked away at, and well, Banshee actually cloaked up, no detection, but it runs out of cloak energy. No Overseer was there anyways in the end, but actually gets a swarm host. So again, Clem picking up a little bit of anything he can. As the roaches and the Ravagers still gathering up in the center of the map. This Banshee all the way to the far upper left side. Let's see our hatchery taking some damage here. +1 melee and +2 missiles coming up on the evolution chambers. The Banshee will finally go down. So finally some further upgrades here from Reynor. I wouldn't say upgrades are like the craziest thing to prioritize necessarily. So just wondering if with the Queens coming across as well, it kind of felt like he was really looking to win that game then and there. As Ling Roach Ravager pressing forwards. Hellions and Cyclones already pulling back. And again, a group of Queens just setting up on the upper left-hand side. Lings, Roaches, and Ravagers on the top. And going to be seeing ourselves with a nice network about to finish up on this natural as well. So, going to be able to put a few of these swarm hosts into that Nidus and obviously start transporting them around the map, giving you much more mobility and, you know, many more points of attack. Right? So, definitely an opportunity for Reynor to kind of move around and go a few different ways. Aliens and Cyclones are still making their way in towards the center here. A couple of extra Banelings morphing. I'm gonna get them out of Baneling, Roach Ravager. All joining up as you see Swarmers on the bottom side. They're gonna pop up some Locusts and they're gonna go. I think he expects there to be a base here. He's like, man, you're gonna have bases everywhere by now, right? I think he really expected there to be a base there, but there is not. I mean, run by is gonna. Oh my god, 11 drones. It's crazy how quickly Blue Flame Hellions kill workers. It's actually insane. Cyclones coming forwards. Clan going to be able to come into this, and Nidus's will just get taken down instantly. It was kind of a shame then that the Swarm was popped that Locust here and there's nothing there, because that's an entire round of Locust you now miss out on, right? Reynor will set up into the Watchtower. This is a nice position for the Nidus and the Swarmers, because from here the Swarmers, it's slow, but you can still make it to the main base. But they can also come in towards the third. Oh my god, that's a Baneling flank from Reynor! And Clem's Cyclones were almost invited in to then be surrounded by Banes, and it was a nice pull away from Clem to the bottom right. There was still that third exit, that third pathway for him to leave via, and he was able to get out there with at least a decent margin or decent count of units. As Nidus Network finishes up from Reynor, as we still have Lings, Banes, Roaches, and Ravages out into the center of the map. More of these units from Reynor all setting up. A fifth hatchery now from Reynor setting up as well, and already pressing forwards. The couple Cyclones going to be chased away. These Locusts down to the bottom side. Sensitar gets picked away out. Going to see these Cyclones and some lock-ons, but the Bane's going to get a good amount of SCVs. And here come these Locusts onto a base that's not a planetary just yet. Able to get a couple of SCVs extra plus a Cyclone. Not a bad effort. So again, Reynor continuing to apply the pressure here on Purity and Industry. And I still like how it's going for him. Resources lost is dead even. That's so good. Obviously, you're playing a Swarmer style, so you're meant to be playing efficiently. But obviously, eventually, if you mine out and it's even resources, I feel like that's still good for the Zerg, right? Even if you get towards that mining out point. Now Reynor loses a little bit more. These Cyclones get a few free pickoffs, basically. So there's another round of Locusts head towards the bottom side. There's a Nidus in the main. That'll be denied pretty swiftly. A few Ravages coming out of this. And, wow, he's actually coming in from the top side as well. So these Cyclones again in a bit of trouble. And Clem loses a lot. These fights are very one way then the other, right? First, Clem's getting a few extra pickoffs for free, and then Reynor gets a great surround. Now Reynor's actually on top of this base, and that's just going to be SCVs. Well, they shouldn't be pulled to fight. They should be pulled the hell away from there. Actually, they actually pulled in to repair the orbital to make sure it stays alive. I'm surprised Reynor didn't kill more of them. I mean, there's not a lot there, but a couple Banes or just even the Zerglings sticking around to fight it a bit longer. Of course, it's very chaotic with everything else that's going on at the same time. These Hellions are coming through. Baneling's on that ramp, and oh my god, he hasn't seen it, and it blows up a good chunk of units. A lot of units taking some heavy hits, and Clem's supply is really dropping and not recovering. As we see Reynor continuing to cross Locust into this bottom side base, nothing to really protect this. The SCVs are going to try and pull in to repair it, but I don't think it's enough, so this command center will go down. Baneling's here too. Clem is overrun, and Reynor will win Clem's map pick. And they have both won each other's map pick now. Game number 3 in the bottom left-hand side. Our red Zerg player from Clash. This is Reynor. Taking on the blue Terran. In the top right-hand side from Team Liquid, we do have Clem. Game 3 of the series. Do Reynor and Clem play against each other every day? I mean, it feels like that right now, doesn't it? They've played against each other a lot as of late, to say the least. It's been a pretty explosive affair, to say to be quite honest with you guys. Like, these guys, not only are they playing each other so often, but when they play each other, they are consistently doing very, giving us very high level games and good games. Overlord coming up, Hatchcast and Pool setting up. Rax is going to finish and a Reaper on the way out. There's an SCV of Clem already down. Just going to be dropping the command center here in a moment or so, and the Overlord of Reynor continuing to the upper right-hand side. SCV coming down to the bottom left, so looking to see what will happen. And did you see the Overlord just hanging around towards the third base? Drone is going to come over and again move itself around as well. Couple extra, well, hatches continue to come on through here. A few extra drones on the way. Just going to be seeing Reynor setting up at the moment, as we do see the Feelings Ready for the Reaper. He does make 6 rather than what is the more typical 4. So we'll see if anything comes of that in particular, or maybe just feels like this is a map where you want 6-lings. Again, not 100% sure. Maybe just sneak a couple out. Yeah, typically you can defend this first Reaper before, which doesn't sound like a big difference, but of course it is a drone difference. You know, 1 drone difference here or there, and you know, if you don't get much out of these Zerglings, then it's like, well, what did you build them for, right? And at this level of play, those are the sort of questions you typically ask yourself. As 1 ling goes down, Reaper pushed back. Now the Queen did inject right away. Let's see what the low ground Queen does. He's going to creep team a high ground or on the ramp. So again, a very safe positioning to start this one off, as we do see again just a few extra drones coming in. Overlord production continuing. Queens still coming through also, as you're just going to be seeing the Reaper back around to the front here. Zergling speed starting up from Reynor in that main base. Getting that going, as we do see a starport into the main as well. And the Marine just continuing to patrol over to the side of the main, basically. So continuing to get that up and running. As the Reaper, well, a couple of Queens coming through, and the Reaper already taking a little bit of damage. Starport will be from Clem, about to complete here, so that is going to finish up. And Liberator on its way out. So Liberator coming through as the SCV production continues. Armory on the way, though. So again, Clem not really going for like a, you know, the typical like, you know, Hellion Liberator into Stim, play that bio style. And instead just going to go for like a Liberator Hellbat combination. So Clem really bringing the aggression the last couple of games. Couple units do pull back, and the Rocheron will finish here from Reynor. So this time he's a bit more prepared for, I'd say, potential aggression, but he's also just prepared to make a whole bunch of roaches and come across the map aggressively. So both play, I mean, it's kind of funky because these Hellbats almost have to be, you know, going to have to become a defensive unit, which isn't great against roaches, but actually better than just Hellions. A few of these Hellions still in the center. Stimpack starting, and a couple of roaches and productionlings on the way out as well as pushing forwards here. Hellion's going to move into Hellbats. He sees roaches already. I mean, at the very least, you can probably keep these roaches back at home for a while you already set up a Marauder and a bunker back at home. I like it as well. Clem doesn't really commit to it. He just sort of pushes it back a bit, and then he loses a couple of Hellions, but he does end up kind of pulling away. This Liberator takes damage. Even that pulling back across the map could be good, of course. There's a couple of Hellions are apparently on the wrong side of this wall off. Plenty of bunkers on the way, but no Hellions to deal with the Ling reinforcements. Definitely makes this a little bit tricky. Well, Vikings even built. I mean, it's literally built anything that deals damage right now. So Vikings, you know, Vikings, a Siege Tank, Marine, anything possible. These Hellions have to be real careful because, again, they are your way of dealing with these Zerglings. The depot is down. Clem is not going to have Reynor running through just yet, though. This Liberator pulling back. Now the wall is back up. Liberator will siege, and actually SCVs underneath that Liberator will get taken down as well. Would be great to finish off this CC just so it doesn't get cancelled. High ground Siege Tank will cover some of the entry points here. Remember, those bunker will help as well, but not with any. Without the Hellions, these Lings are really just a massive issue. I actually just don't know what you do against the Zerglings. There's just so many of them, and Clem is going to get overrun as these Lings running up this ramp. SCVs continuing to go down. Now he's got corrosive piles and Lings on the Siege Tank. And Clem will not have the numbers to hold the Roach Ling attack. And game 3 will go the way of Reynor. And he's up 2-1. There was just nothing that Clem really succeeded in doing in that game. And so he just doesn't have what he needs to really... I mean, you need the Lings, you need the Hellions to deal with the Lings. If you don't have the Hellions to deal with the Lings, the bunkers are kind of useless with the other units inside. Because there's just so many Zerglings at that point, so... Pretty, it's a bit of a rough run. Just make 2 bunkers at tank on the high ground, but on the inside, like the opposite side. You can't defend a 39 drone all in on the high ground, though. Because if you defend a 40 drone all in on the high ground, you're in a really horrible position. I mean, I think if you have to defend the low ground first, because the thing is, if you try to defend high ground, Ravagers are just going to bust down the depots, Lings are going to stream in, and then you've got all of your SCVs under pressure. And I think you just lose too much, and the Zerg can just... I think it's just you give up the natural, and that gives up too much too easily, and then the Zerg just drones behind it and it gets into a good position. Like a super early Roach attack, you defend the high ground, that's fine, but 40 drones. Defending high ground's kind of tough because you're canceling your third CC, which is already great for the Zerg to get rid of that. There's a lot of different reasons. Game 4 of this best of 7. Reynor bottom right, Clem top left. Grand finals here of our Spring Championship preseason. Remember, again, Spring Championship itself will start up after the after this tomorrow. It's going to be our first day of the Spring Championship European matches. Remember the preseason, $500 first place, $250 for second place. The Spring Championship itself is a $5,000 tournament. A lot to be won in group stages. Every best of 3 in the groups is a $40 prize, so make sure you tune in for that. Anyways, Roach is coming up again, and this is a different Roach roll-in. So this is an early game Roachling, although this is where you defend the high ground, right? This is where you defend the high ground. As the sweeper comes over, it's not going to see any drones on the natural. The links show up on the net over here. This is where SCVs generally pull to help out. Reaper's going to pull back home. Now, when will the Reaper turn back around to go see the Roaches will be the question, right? As Clem had some very good micro against this setup against Denver. Sends one SCV down. Has not really gone into a good spot here to fight those lings. Now he will get into a better one. SCV's pulling, and he will lose one SCV, make that 2. Not bad, but again, this Reaper needs to go straight back across the map. It needs to see these Roaches coming. It needs to see this as soon as possible. And I think you just go straight high ground defense. And Barracks goes to a tech lab, so even like a Cyclone here is going to be very slow. Obviously, Hellions aren't the greatest right now. Third CC started up already. He's going to go for quite a far back bunker because he knows the trouble that he's in. So he's going to try and slow this down a little bit. Roaches and Ravagers still coming across the upper left-hand side. Feels like Clem's in a lot of trouble right here. Marauder will start. I mean, again, it's not like a crazy number of units. It's just 2 Roaches and 2 Ravagers. So it's not like there's 10 Roaches in this attack. He loses the reactor. That's already an expensive loss. Bunker will finish. The Hellions trying to buy some time for SCVs going down. Obviously, Clem is up against what is already a rebuild of drones from Reynor, right? He's already droning up now. The later third hatchery, there's negatives to this. There's a Marauder out, but not even really that much of a help because the Marauder is against 3 Ravagers in a Roach. It doesn't even get bonus damage against the Ravagers. So it's not even able to do too much here just late at that. Tech lab goes down as well, and these Roaches and Ravagers will slip into the main base. The Hellions chased away. Another SCV going down. This is just crazy. As we just see the Marauder is just going to be too slow to really deal proper damage here. So these Ravagers will get so many extra kills. He kind of turns onto it there, but I think just getting more SCVs is kind of the right answer. As he will lose these last couple of units, but he's up double the work account here, Reynor. Now, there is the third CC from Clem. So he does have 3 bases. He does have himself a setup where you can rebuild workers here fairly comfortably. It's obviously still far from being ideal, though. So it's still not the best scenario, to say the least, as we do see the Stimpack starting up. So that's going to be coming through here from Clem. Going to be having the Hellion from Clem down to the bottom side. And just going to see the couple of these joining up together. The Queen putting some damage out on these Hellions also. As we're going to see first round, well, Roach is already picking off 1 Hellion. And Clem's just going to type out GG as he sees the drone count. He's like, yep, this is over. And Reynor is going to go up onto match point. I'll just say quickly, I was kind of thinking about doing some replays after this, but honestly, it's such a nice day. I kind of want to go outside and just actually sit on my balcony and get some fresh air for a bit. So I think we're just going to call it a day after we wrap up this grand final. So just as a little heads up, we'll probably do some of the ESL Cup replays and stuff later in the week. So, yeah, that's just to give you guys a little heads up, a little bit of a plan of what's going on, as you have in the bottom left. Our red Zerg player is Reynor from Clash. As we do have in the top right-hand side, our blue Terran. It is Clem from Team Liquid. Wardy, no passion. I feel like I've got a lot of passion, guys. It's just I haven't actually even stepped foot outside in like a week and a half, 2 weeks, and I'd kind of like to just Just chill a little bit. We got a busy week coming up. We're casting so much StarCraft this week. We're going to be busy. All the games for you guys. So, yeah, there will be games coming up the last week. I just want to... it's been a long time since I didn't stream like 6+ hours in a day. Do I even stream War StarCraft? Yeah, you're right. You know what? Time to unsubscribe, guys. It's time to unsubscribe and give up. Like, it's just done. It's just the gig is up. Wardy doesn't actually even like StarCraft. He was actually only doing all of this for money. Oh, what a guy. Unbelievable. Here on Zen for map 5, Clem in a must-win position. Has to win every freaking game from here on out. Unsub. Oh wait, I'm not even subbed. Yep, that's an issue. See, guys, that's actually the mind game. I've told you to unsubscribe, so now everyone that isn't unsubscribed, they want to join in, so they're gonna subscribe to be able to unsubscribe. You see, marketing. Couple of queens coming through as we're just going to be seeing the Reaper continuing forwards, and just going to be seeing the Reaper starting this Reaper dance. We do see an Engineering Bay block on the third this time around, so Clem will... I feel like we've not seen a lot of attempts to delay or deny the third hatchery here from Reynor out of Clem, so nice to actually get that going this time around. Just going to be seeing the starport building up in the main base of Clem then. Getting that going. Reaper comes down, grenade pops, and just going to be seeing this drone taking a little bit of damage here. Engineering Bay is taking a few shots as well. The few Zerglings taking some real damage, and they will fall over the next couple of moments. Nice grenade is going to bop the Queen up and kill the creep tumor. So again, that's very nicely done, as we do see the again couple of Hellions continuing down the bottom left. A few Zerglings going in on the Engineering Bay there, so able to pick that off. It's just going to be seeing the couple of drones getting picked away at. So a couple of drones will go down. Zerglings getting picked away at. A couple of queens here pushing the Hellion back. And just going to see a couple more Hellions of Clem out down into the center. Stimpack, Liberator getting ready to go. All these Hellions down the left side. And just going to be seeing the Engineering Bay really did its job at delaying that third hatchery, so slows that down. These Hellions getting pretty adventurous, and the thing is on Zen, there's no good way out of this. Oh, Clem. After the third hatch gets delayed so long, now these Zerglings coming in, they kind of block these Hellions and the Reaper from really getting out of here at all, and that's obviously a little bit, rough. As these Hellions will come slipping back out the left-hand side, making their way to the upper right. Stimpack coming in from Clem, factory building that tech lab too. I'm just going to be seeing the third hatch also. Trying to get set up over here. I'm getting those few Hellions around into the natural. The Marine going to be pretty quick to jump on top of the Overlord right now. So Overlord taking some damage. A couple of extra racks on the way. And Engineering Bay is building as well at the moment, as we do see the Overlord just continue to be pushed away up this top side. Again, yeah, the Evolution Chamber from Reynor is just setting up. The couple of Marines coming through. Overlord continues to take damage, and we do have ourselves a setup for Clem where he's building into his bio. He's getting his racks up. Tank on the way. Starport with the reactor. There's command setup from Clem at the front, getting ready to go as well, as the rest of these Zerglings going to come around through into the center of the map, and they are just going to be able to come all the way along here and down this bottom left-hand side, where I guess they won't do all too much. Just going to be seeing the Hellions able to pick away at a few of these creep tumors, etc. Queen's coming into this middle of the map, and again, the Hellions able to do all right, as we do see the fourth hatchery of Reynor on the left side. Just again, a couple of shots going down, so the creep tumor just takes some damage. Some extra drones coming in. Overlord's building. Carapace on the way. No double upgrades from Reynor, so see if that's it's kind of interesting. I mean, Carapace is a priority, oftentimes makes sense, but it was set up to be double upgrades, so feels like Reynor's missing that there, and he does get the melee start now. So he's going to be a bit behind on the melee upgrade. I mean, Carapace, again, definitely the more important one for fighting against the bio, but worth keeping in mind a few scenarios where that melee missing could hurt a little bit. Balance speed is dropping into the third base, so we're getting ourselves a set of royalty banelings to apply some pressure here as well very soon. Clem pulling more Hellions out around the top as Marines, a siege tank coming across here as well. Now a lot of these Lings of Reynor, well, they are going to go darting across and in towards a third base in a moment or two. So in they go, and SCV is taking a whole bunch of damage. 4 workers down, 5. And now just going to be seeing Hellions, Marines, and tanks continuing to the far left. Again, the rest of these Lings continue to come through. The tanks will siege up the banelings, taking a lot of hits here, and the other tank actually does a pretty good job of this as well. More banelings continue to waddle forwards, and they are just not getting enough done at all. As these Marines and Hellions continue to pull backwards, banelings going down, Zerglings being cleaned out. At the same time, I mean, the entire third base mineral line that was already set up for Clem is fallen, so this control is good, and he's continuing to do very well out on this left-hand side. Is he just going to end the game? I mean, I guess the Zerglings are coming back home as well, right? So they will force a lift up. It's not going to end the game at all, Wardy, but I'm just getting a little bit too excited. But yeah, I mean, obviously the SCV kills are nice overall. Resources lost a bit favorable to Clem. Honestly, it kind of comes out fairly evened up. Obviously, keeping the base alive is always great. Reynor already towards a 5th hatchery as well. Melee upgrade about to complete, and the +2 Carapace on the 2nd evolution chamber obviously has already started because of the fact that Carapace was just coming in a lot faster here. Yeah, not much Clem can really do in terms of these drops. Just has to lift back up and get away from there. Just going to be seeing the 2-2 upgrades continue to come into play, and again, the rest of the Zerglings continue to come around. Marines trying to fight, and just going to be seeing 2-2 continue to come into play on either side. So that'll be one of the next real moments of this from Clem, to really look at the game and say, yeah, you know what, this is an opportunity for me to get a bit of something done. More units unload on the top, and these are 2 empty medevacs into the center that Reynor's like, where are you going? Well, what have you got in, you guys? Watching out a little bit. Overseer gets taken down as Hellbat is able to soak up a few banelings, so that's a good job right there, as well as Clem has kept up this pressure. Ling Bane on the counter, ready to roll into the 3rd. I'm going into 8 racks here, so no 4th base just yet. So again, really powering up on 8 racks and looking to fight. Still producing tanks as well against this pure Ling Bane style. Nice interception here. The siege tank is saved by the medevac, though. This attack resulted in 5 SCV kills, so we're going to see more of that right now. But the depot wall did rebuild very quickly, so Clem really prioritizing that and re-establishing it pretty much right away here. Zerglings of Reynor up around the top side. Army of Clem gathering up. Scan over to the left, and a couple of Queens. I mean, already 1 creep teamer dropping down, and Ling's running into this. The Marines pulling back, and the Banes still coming forwards. These Marines have to keep on pulling away. A couple of these other Banes trying to roll through. And Clem will just have to lift up as the rest of this army from Clem continues to cross over the left-hand side. A lot of Marines stemming in over here, so Zerglings continue to run away on the right-hand side. The Lings and the Banes probably going to be able to bust through in towards the 3rd base. And, well, again, the counterattack looks good, but how much will the main army... Oh, he didn't have to... Oh, my God, there's just gaps in the wall! Oh, Clem, it's not a wall off, and the Lings and Banes are having a wild time. Well, Reynor is now doing mega damage and just has to hold on back at home. His 4th base, something he could maybe give up, because he does have the bottom side bases coming online. So it's not like a must-attack scenario here for Reynor. He goes for it anyways, and honestly, the Bane connections are pretty good. And Clem is pushed back. 45 SCVs against the 86 drones, and yeah, Reynor doesn't even give up, not even giving up the base. That I think is a real sign of just the position he feels he's in. Able to jump on this. With the damage done across the map, we might just have Reynor winning 4 in a row to take this best of 7 down. A couple of Banes coming through, Marines getting blown up. More of these units from Clem coming out into the center. The Hive is about to complete from Reynor on the natural. So beyond all of this, obviously it's only Ling Bane, so you go into the Hive and Ultras pretty quickly. So behind all of this, Ultras are coming out. When Ultras hit the field against pure Marine tank production on 3 bases, this game ends. Just as simple as that. It's gonna end. Slings and Banes running through here. Tank gonna try and siege. Zerglings all running into this. The tank gets surrounded. The Marines now still under some heavy fire. The Medivacs will load up. And there is his Reynor is gonna be your WardiTV Spring Championship preseason champion. GG's and very well played.